Bobby Moore and Sir Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. Proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast. More than just a podcast.
Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning. This is more than just a podcast. Season 12, episode 29, and the hits keep on coming. Back with us is Johnny Bucci. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm at home talking to yous.
Also, Nigel Khan, aka Shedman. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm in my shed.
And finally, last but not least, Canning Town Len.
Canning Town when? When? Canning Town when?
Canning Town Len. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm doing a pod review.
No news from George. I assume he's still busy with new child.
Yes.
Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Another hammer is born. or is it?
We'll see.
Is Jessica a hammer or not?
It's going to be the eternal battle, isn't it? We'll wait and see.
I must admit, El Bonio doesn't have the same ring as El Jessico when we battle.
Well,
anyway, it's
we'll
not.
See who wins out.
It's not a baby podcast. It is a West Ham podcast, and we've won again. Back-to-back wins, 4 goals, 3 goals in 2 games from Bowen. Antonio scores a goal, 2 clean sheets. I mean, the hits just keep on running. I mean, and then West Ham fans last night at Derby sing Super David Moyes.
Did they really?
He did.
All right. Who had like 70 seconds on the old lottery ticket there? Sean mentioned West Ham fans singing Super David Moyes. I think I had.
Well, they
longer
did
than
though,
that.
didn't they?
You didn't have to go straight in with it, though.
I thought I had to. I was speaking to Stell, right, on my way
there's
back
one.
from work, and of course he was there with Dodsey. And look, and I think George said this on our WhatsApp group and said, "Oh, they're having a right old sing-song." All the old favourites came out.
Christian Daly,
Ludo McCloskey. They did the old Frank Lampard. 10 men couldn't carry Lampard. Yeah. But they also sang Super David Moyes. And I asked him, I said, "Oh, how well did that go down?" He said, "Well, there was a couple of people going, what the F are you singing that song for?" He said, "But most people were having a good time. They're happy, and they're happy to sing that song, and everyone joined in on it. So, in Moyes we trust." Anyway, let's talk about the game. Did any of us go?
No.
Did you watch the game, Johnny?
I did, yes.
All right, let's start with you then. FA Cup. Woo!
Whee!
Go!
Yeah.
Win.
Good win.
Yeah, win's a win. Goals
Wins
are
a
fun.
win. Goals are fun. Antonio is like someone out of the sort of trickery of a Brazilian in the midfield there as he grabbed the ball. It's a decent win, decent performance.
You know, resting.
It reminded me a bit of last season's some of the performances in the group stages where we put out a changed team but still performed to a level that when you watched it, it looked quite comfortable.
Oh, do you know what? You really surprised me there because some people have said they thought it was a poor performance against an average team, and what do you expect? And some people would say, well, how could they win, right? If we lost last night, how, Moyes is shit and everything. If we win, everyone goes, well, it's only Derby. It's only League One Derby.
Well, I mean, in some realms or some level of perspective, yes, it is like a lower league Derby, and we should be a lot better than them. But we all know what happens quite often with us and lower league sort of teams. So.
Well, they did try and stop us playing our game, and that's what.
I mean, they had spells of possession. We didn't have it all our way.
They nearly went pear-shaped the first 60 seconds.
I know.
Didn't
it did. But there was a shout for a handball for them, or not a handball, a penalty with Johnson when he went into their player.
Yeah, no
But,
VAR.
No VAR. But you know, I felt once we got the goal, I just felt we were in control.
Which
and
we
it
only
was
had to wait 10 minutes of.
Yeah, that was the
and
quickest we've scored all season, isn't it?
What's the song that they sing about Bowen?
I don't know, Sean. You tell me.
Oh, I don't know. You tell me, Nigel. What's the song? Is he gone?
Say that again, sorry.
What's the song they sing about Bowen that you played last week?
No, that's what I sung.
What do you
They
sing?
don't sing it.
Oh, I thought they sung it. You made up that song yourself, did you?
But
Anyway.
you heard, you didn't hear that, but you heard the David Moyes song.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah, true arse licking fashion.
Anyway, back to John.
Bowen's on fire. He put twins in Danny Dyer.
Oh, that's it. Bowen's on fire. He put twins in Danny Dyer. Yeah.
I wasn't going to repeat it really. I just thought
No, not really.
Well, I don't think the West Ham fans sung that, Sean.
No, maybe not. So, 1-0 up after 10 minutes, John. Comfortable first half watch after we got the early goal.
Yeah, and I say it was a decent performance. They had a go in fits and starts, and we contained them and got the second goal. And
Second
they didn't
goal,
really look much like threatening.
Antonio's.
Antonio.
First goal. I'm going to say a controversial thing or ask you a controversial question. Does Thomas Tuchel play better when Declan Rice is not playing?
Well, he had a good game, I would say. He was far more involved.
But answer the question.
He was pinging balls around the place, and
answer the question, John.
I don't know. I'd say how often he plays without Declan Rice. He had a good game last night.
I thought Flynn Downs played well as well.
Yeah. So did I. I think Downs played well. I think a Gerd or guard or whatever you want to call him. A Gerd is very decent. Good.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
Back 3 or back 7?
I think Emerson is making his
Emerson
claim.
had a good game as well.
Yeah.
I thought,
So
Souček assist on the first goal. It's the Souček we remember. You know, getting up. I know everyone. Even my son said, "Oh, 2 tap-ins, Dad." I went, "Come on." You know, Souček got up, headed it down. You know, for Bowen.
You've got to get there to get the tap-ins, and you've got to make the tap-ins happen. So you know, to score.
And Antonio looks a bit good as well, I thought.
Well, yeah, he looks like someone who's playing for a move.
Which is not going to happen, by the way, in the next few hours. But
am I right in saying that's the quickest goal we've scored this season?
Yeah, you would be right.
I don't know the stat on that, but you could be right. 10 minutes, yeah.
So
it was a comfortable watch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a decent performance, a good result. But you know, what does it mean? Who knows? We'll find out against Newcastle.
Well, we're also obviously we'll move on to Nigel now. We'll leave Len last for a time because I always make Nigel last. We find out Old Trafford when we play Manchester United again, probably midweek with no trains back. But anyway, more of that later.
Well, I've read somewhere that they've got about 3 games lined up just before ours or whatever.
It will be midweek, so they're playing Barcelona in the Europa League, and so you know, one would think they might be a bit tired, but I can see it being midweek and not all weekend.
Why can you see that, Sean?
Because we spoke about it earlier when I rang you earlier on the way home. That's why. Or was it Stell I spoke to? I don't know.
Talk to me about 5th round of the FA Cup.
Oh no, I spoke to Stell then about it.
On
whether it will be midweek or not.
Why would it be midweek?
Because of the number of other games they're going to play.
What, they've got a lot of games of the weekend?
Apparently, yeah.
Well, don't we have games of a weekend?
No, apparently not.
All right. So 1st of March.
Look, Stoll told me. It must be true. And I read it on Twitter.
1st of March.
On Wednesday, yeah. Go on.
Is that not... what's the 1st of March? Is that not...
Oh, don't. See, you always come up with facts and figures and, you know.
No, it is a Wednesday.
Oh, is it? There you go.
Why is the 5th round of the FA? Do you know what? It does baffle me.
I did wonder because
The 5th round's always a midweek game.
No,
is it?
It's a Saturday. No. The fifth round is normally the third week in February. That's the fifth round of the FA Cup.
Someone told on Twitter said it was a Wednesday, and I spoke to Stan,
So yeah, I've had a
and
look.
he went, "Oh yeah, there won't be any trains back because if you kick off at 7:45, there are no trains back from Manchester." He's right.
I can't believe they've fucking done that. The thing that baffles me is that everybody, loads of people in the media go around going, "Oh, the magic of the cup ain't what it was. How do we get it back?" Well, I'll tell you how you get it back. Stop fucking having games on a weekday night for a start.
Yeah.
That's how you get it back. Play it
Yeah.
on a Saturday and Sunday.
Stop doing the draw on the one show and then make
Was it?
the
Is that what it was?
make the semi-finals in proper sort of
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
grounds
they've already
again.
ruined it. They've already ruined it. It's the.
No,
By the way, it's
yeah.
the Emirates FA Cup.
Well,
Now.
I mean, we can take up to 9,000, but there's not 9,000 going to go on a Wednesday.
no, but that's the thing. They go round and go, "Oh, the FA Cup ain't what it was," and yet none of them ever point the finger at the FA and go, "Because that fucking lot couldn't organise a piss up in a brewery." They stand around with their dicks in their hands going, "How do we make this better?" When it's fucking screaming obvious, go back to when it was better, and perhaps people would enjoy it more.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Anyway, back to the game.
Well, just before their fixtures, on the 23rd of February they got Barcelona,
Yeah.
26th of February they got Brentford, and on the 1st of March they got us,
There you
and
go.
then on the 5th of March they got Liverpool.
There you go. Hopefully, they will play a weakened team against us.
That's a fucking pain. That's right pissed me off now.
I'm sorry.
Should
No,
have come
'cause
to
I
me
was gonna-
first, Sean.
I was going to go up to it, but that's the fucking 2 days off work.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry for being right for a change. Len,
Hello.
48% possession for the home team, Derby County. 52% possession for the
Yeah.
Hammers, West Ham.
Yeah.
Derby County, the Rams, had 11 shots, only 1 on target. And West Ham, the Hammers, had 8 shots, 5 on target. Discuss.
Well, I did notice the extra possession, and I thought with possession we kept our shape better, especially the front three that attacked as the front three all the time. So I'm all for that. I'm not really this counter-attacking style that we can't play, that we persevere with. This is what the transition was about, to become a team that had more possession, because it makes us a better team.
Yeah. Back 7.
Well, yeah, but they get a bit forward more with the ball.
All right. So it is a back 3, like they put. It's a 4-3-2-1.
It won't be a back three at Old Trafford, will it? Be back
No.
10.
Kera, how do you? I mean, obviously Areola.
Rubbish.
You didn't like Kera again.
Well, it's not. I mean, this is on Moyes, this purchase. I mean, if you look at it, he wants this kind of the wing back thing is what he wanted. If you'd have persevered with that in the first place and played Emerson a bit more, rather than leaving him out for a month or so, and maybe he persevered with Kera on the back right. And I know you're going to say, yeah, we had injuries in the centre, but listen, that's when you put a youth team player in. If you want to really stick to this formation and make it work, you could have made a defender out of one of them. It's a bad purchase on Moyes' part.
Yeah.
That he just doesn't fit into anything that he wants to do. And the thing is, I know he makes a lot of mistakes, but you can see quality there.
Yeah, I agree.
But-
he looks like a decent
Kera?
footballer.
Yeah, you can see quality in Kera.
Okay.
But this is the thing is, Moyes has made that he's bought players that just don't fit in, and it's on him. All right, okay, the results are a bit, albeit against lower opposition, but they've improved a little bit. But he's seriously fucked up, Moyes, with that big spend he had. Now we got a transfer window slamming shut tonight. He want to persevere with the wing backs. We ain't really got anything on the right hand side because Johnson's just gone. His form's gone. Uh,
Yeah.
a position now that there's only one berth for him there, which is right back in a wing back system, and he can't play it. So he's seriously fucked up, Moyes. Really, to be honest.
You obviously Aguerd played a left back role with Bonner in the middle in the back three, and as you've already mentioned, you had Downs and Souček in front of Bonner, and then you had Emerson on the left and Ben Johnson on the right. We talked about Emerson. I think you've talked about Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, Bonner still got it.
He has to have it because he's got no one else to play there.
Well, he hasn't. That's right.
So yeah, I mean he's an Upton Parker, isn't he?
He is.
He's been playing for us for that long. He has to sort of. This is it. If he's not going to bring someone through, then he's got to play Ogbonna. So it's a good job we signed that extra contract. He needs. Listen, Moyes really needs. He's got some explaining to do. One way or the other, has to bring people through, or should have brought players in the big spend to get into this system. Because now it's just not, and nothing's going to happen tonight.
Yeah. And well, anyone would think you're Moyes out. I've got one last question for you before I move
Go on.
Nigel. Pablo Fornals.
Great second half.
Well, he got man of the match. Did you see his post on social media?
Yeah, I did see that.
He said something
funny
like,
enough,
is it April Fool's Day? He's holding up.
He had a
man
couple
of
of
the match.
kind of stinking moves, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know, in typical Fornals style, you can't knock his work rate. You really can't. And I really like him. I'm glad he plays. I'm really glad he plays.
Was he your man of the match last night?
No, I think every time the boy, the kid from Chelmsford, what's his name? Flynn Downs. Every time he plays, he's fantastic every time.
Yeah. No,
Do you know what? If we had a new scenario, right?
We should sell Declan Rice. I mean, we didn't need him last night.
Well,
this is
what I'm coming to. If we wouldn't have interfered and he would have gone to Palace, all the Palace fans would be saying, "This Flynn Downs is better than Declan Rice," and we would have said, "We're
not quite sure of that."
They would have made
they would have said it. No, they would have said it though. You might not be sure about it, but they would have said it because they don't watch Declan Rice like we do. Yeah. Declan Rice is like Constable's Haywain. Unless you're standing in front of it, you can't really appreciate it.
I'm not sure even if I was standing in front of it, I'd appreciate it. But it's not an art podcast.
All
right. Well, lastly,
it's not exactly a fucking football one either, is it? At times,
true.
All right.
What did you think overall of the performance? Shitty Derby, or they got the job done? West Ham.
Well, no, the performance was good. Derby or not, it was the way the way we played made the team performance better because people looked in better positions, and they can't have everything to do with the opposition because the way we held our shape, we kind of knew where everyone was. Now, I ain't seen that for a long time because often we don't want the ball. We're under the cosh. The two midfielders, which is usually Souček and Rice, they're too close to the defence. We can't attack. We got no pace. We get stretched. It's just dreadful. Bad tactic we use.
Yeah.
Better tactic the other night, choosing to have more of the ball.
Yeah. Nigel.
Yeah.
25,000 Pride Park last night. I think nearly 5,000 of them were West Ham fans, and boy, did they outsing the home crowd. I guess, it was a second string team. We've talked about Areola starting. We've talked about them all over. He rested a few players towards the end of the game. Cresswell came on for Emerson. Mbapa came on for Bowen.
Mbapa.
Lanzini came on for Fornals, and obviously Ben Rama at 64 came on Antonio. What did you make? You say goals are fun, and it's about enjoying the game. The people away from home certainly had enjoyed their day out. What did you make of it? You love the FA Cup.
Well, I did.
Did you? Well, yeah, until don't mention Old Trafford. I mentioned it once, but I thought I got away with it. Go on.
No, it was a cup tie that could have gone. You know, when you look at it, a lot of people worried. 19 games unbeaten, Derby in the league, on a push upwards, fourth in the table, trying to catch the three above them. I think they're Ipswich, Sheffield Wednesday, and Plymouth are at the top. And for a club that can't buy players, or they can only get players in that are free, they've got no money to buy anyone. They've had financial meltdown. You know, they had the debacle of a so-called American person buying the club, only to discover he had no money anyway.
Oh.
Wayne Rooney got hoaxed. Well, I don't know if he got hoaxed, but Wayne Rooney was actually picking up wages last season and paying the players out of his own pocket, thinking he was going to get the money back off this American that it turned out had no money to buy the club.
Is that one of the reasons Wayne Rooney's cousin came on last night?
Well, it's possible that one of the reasons that Wayne Rooney's cousin came on last night was that Rooney obviously brought him into the setup. So last season, I'm guessing. But
a little bit of nepotism.
You could say that, but then again, you know, we've had enough players that have, been nephews or sons of former players.
Like Frank Lampard Jr.
Well, there's a list of them. You know, but at the end of the day, we turned up and we've done a job. West Ham of old could, especially as you say, in that first 40, 50 seconds, Derby went at us, and I thought it was good to get the early goal because it did put them on the back foot.
It settled my nerves as well.
Calmed us all down. They had a winger who had a bit of pace about him, who sort of did fade out. But he got down the byline a few times. He had a double barrel name and cut the ball back. But I thought, you know, I don't know, you know, I thought it was brave of him to go three at the back, considering he's only got three centre halves.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm all for it if it continues as
Did they switch off
playing the way we play?
Second goal,
West Ham.
Sort of
Switch
job
off.
done.
No,
Not
I
switch off.
don't.
They sort of thought they took the foot off the pedal.
Yeah, but why not, Sean? Why bust a gut, right? And why go out? You've got a 2-0 win. See if you can get a third, but don't
Derby
overdo it.
I mean, my view was, and I don't know if you all saw this, Derby seemed to almost give up after the second goal went in. Started putting their kids on.
Well, look, Derby have got the main priority. Derby have got a bigger priority. I suppose our main priority, some will say, is staying in the Premier League. You know, we've got more chance of staying in the Premier League than Derby have of going up, and they're sitting fourth in their league. So they brought some kids on. I quite like that Dobbin, who's on loan from Everton.
Oh, I was going to say Harry Potter.
No, he had some good breaks through, beat a few players, and you know perhaps needs to work on his end product. But they didn't really, apart from that opening, they didn't really cause Areola any trouble, did they?
No.
I mean, the only thing I would say is in their things, Johnson's challenge into Curtis Davis.
Yeah,
I think
good point.
Penalty.
It was, wasn't it?
That was a penalty. Yeah, he's
And
ended the
why
player
is there no
after the ball's
VAR
gone.
in the FA
They
Cup?
ain't got that. Well, if you're a
There
Premier
is.
League stadium, you got it. But if you
So
which
hang on a
is
minute.
stupid, isn't
Is
it?
this
Just
the
turn-
rule?
Yes.
If
it's
the home
stupid.
tie is at FA
Premier
Cup
League
home
ground, yeah.
then VAR works. But if
Yes.
it's a non
That's right.
outside of
Yeah.
Premier League,
Daft.
that's unfair, isn't it?
Of course,
Well,
it's
go
daft.
and have a look at the Stevenage penalty that they gave away to Stoke. Because the worst thing is that the referee gave a penalty, no VAR, penalty scored. As they're walking back to kick off again, they replayed the foul that the referee gave as a penalty on the big screen, and the referee seen it, and apparently he had to apologise there and then to the Stevenage players. But it's too late.
Well, it should be a level playing field. If you can't have it in the whole round,
Exactly right.
it should be.
It wouldn't have helped Stevenage anyway,
No.
But and for me, it does make a mockery of a tournament where you only got something because it's used at the Premier League grounds.
Yeah.
But then for me, I would argue actually that VAR should only be used if it can be used at all grounds. Why is the Premier League any more special than the Championship, League One or League Two?
That's where all the money is.
No, Sean, football ain't about money, yeah, believe it or not. It's not about money.
Well, of course it is.
No, it ain't,
Oh,
Sean.
you're so naive.
I'm not naive. The football is not about money. It's not played for money. It's not.
Really?
Really. It's not played. Do you go to watch football because of money?
No, but
Right, therefore, I
everybody
rest
who
my
makes-
case then.
Everybody else
Yeah.
who does, though, the whole thing, Sky.
Oh, no, that's different, yeah? And this
But
is where
it's what
football
generates
kills its song.
the
And this
money
is how
to
you
get the
end up
best players.
with an FA Cup that's devalued to the point of
I don't disagree with that, but I think you're going to find that without the money that's coming to the Premier League, we'd be a. I
But
don't
what's more important? What's the most?
know,
All right,
we
how
wouldn't
about
be
this
one
then?
of the top 5
Sean,
divisions
all right,
in,
Sean.
in
Who
Europe.
cares?
Right, how about this then? Yeah, VAR's only used in Premier League. What about the playoff final? That's not the Premier League.
Does it
Richest-
not, is it
richest
not used in
game-
the playoff final?
Well, is it?
Yes,
I don't know.
it is.
It is, all right.
But then is it used in the semi-finals?
You're probably going to tell me no.
Possibly not. No.
No, therefore.
Because it's in Wembley, but it's not. It's.
But then that's
counts
still
as the
wrong
semi-
against the competition. So the team that gets
Oh,
knocked
it's
out
not-
in the
it's-
semi-final
I shouldn't
because
have started this.
VAR
It's
didn't
not
pick
a
it up.
VAR podcast.
No, but you go down the cul-de-sac, I'll take you down there. You wouldn't have liked about
Hey,
money.
I don't want you taking me down any cul-de-sacs, mate.
Yeah.
What you get on up to in your spare time's up to you. Anyway, a win's a win, right?
No, yeah, it's
We move on
with cup final. It's
To our
all
bogey
about.
team.
Well, I would like to say it's all about having your name in the hat for the next round, but considering our name was in the hat for the draw anyway, I suppose.
What's that? I mean, how many times have we? I think someone did put. How many
5
times?
out of 7
Five
away
out of
to Man
seven we've
United.
chosen Man United away. What's that
Nine,
about?
9 consecutive home games
Wow.
in League and FA Cups.
Fifth
What
conspiracy.
for Man United?
The
Yeah.
Emirates FA Cup.
Yes, for Man United.
I
Anyway.
mean, it's. I mean,
A
it
win's a
is strange. If you think how many FA Cup competitions has West Ham appeared in? 120, 122. I don't know if we've appeared in that many FA Cups. Probably not. We've probably just over 100 times we've entered the FA Cup. If you take in consideration 2 World Wars, to have drawn Man United 10 times. That's quite. I would edge my bets that we've played Man United more times in the FA Cup than any other team,
Yeah, I'd say that.
and when you look at it, we played them in 1911, and then we didn't play them again until 1964. It seems to be a lot of times. There was a lot of swearing in my house
Oh, really?
when Ball 7 was pulled out to Man United away. Yes,
Yeah, I'm sure.
I weren't happy.
Nah, me neither.
Anyway, we all of everything to win. You've got to beat them all to win the cup. And you said we're going to win the cup this year, and 2 cups. You said.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh, we can. I do believe that we could go up there and cause a shock. Depending on I suppose slightly better West Ham team than this went up and beat a far better Man United team. So it is doable. But then again, 2 years after that, they spanked us 6-0 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. So for every Paolo Di Canio, there's a shed load of Gary Breen games.
Cool. Anyway, moving on. A little bit of injury and transfer news. We'll get on to question time. Moyes says on Zuma, we think he's got a little bit of a tear on top of his thigh, and we've talked about this before. He's got a small tear on his quads. We've not got a date on his return. but he's a quick healer, and it's not going to be too bad. So perhaps that's one of the reasons he's not entered into the transfer market for a defender. We speak now at 20 to 8 on transfer deadline day. Go to bed, people. I know you're hearing this and you've already gone to bed and probably got up again, but there you go. The good news is Maxwell Cornet is back in training on Monday, although he has said, and this is Moyes, that it's too early. Although he started full training on Monday, it might take him a couple of weeks to get up to speed. Be like a new signing, hey. And obviously he's had injections, but now Skamaka and Ings are having injections. So apparently he's trying to play down their injuries, saying Skamaka's not going to be too far away. And I think Ings is having. What are these platelet PRP injections? I've never heard of them before.
I'm guessing it's blood.
It is. It's some platelet blood things. So hopefully we didn't get any new injuries last night, and we came through it, and everyone's back on the mend. Obviously, transfer news. Harrison Ashby went to Newcastle, refused to sign a contract. The manager said it was a boy's decision. He didn't want to stay. He only had 6 months on his contract. We had an offer from Newcastle in summer. He wanted to go then, but we chose not to in the hope we could get him to stay. Two sides to every story, and maybe John will come in here because we talked a bit off air. But I've been told the agent, Wasserman, same agent as Eddie Howe, same agent that actually David Moyes Jr. used to work for, just wouldn't negotiate. They wanted a big wage for the boy, 30, 40 grand. They wanted to do a deal where it was maybe 10 or 5 with 20 grand appearance money and other add-ons, etc. In the same way they did Declan Rice, but apparently that wasn't acceptable. And he's gone. He went. We've got £2 million plus £1 million add-ons and a 20% sell-on fee. For someone we would have got 250 grand for in 6 months' time through a tribunal, I say, well, fine. Let's see whether Newcastle are right paying 30 grand a week for an unproved player. He's going to be understudy to Trippier, so who's just signed a new contract. So we'll see. Does he make the grade, or have Newcastle just made a big gamble?
Well,
go on.
They're not making a gamble, really, because and what you're saying is you probably won't see him because by the time he gets his chance, they'll be at a different level.
Yeah, possibly.
But I do think it's actually quite a good bit of business on their part. But that doesn't mean to say that everything's going well with the academy at the moment. I see a lot of this conversation about the academy, and both sides are completely right in the argument they're having.
Well, I was about to go on with Pierre Ewok and the other one, Will Greenidge, which most people had never heard of before. Let's be honest. Both of these, according to the manager, and he's come out, he didn't think they could make the grade. They couldn't make the first team. He didn't want to stand in their way and in their careers' way, so he let them go, right?
Yeah.
And therefore, he doesn't believe. Now, history will say whether these two play in the Premier League or whether they're actually more suited to the Championship, League One or League Two, making a living. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But in his view, they can't make it. And he said...
Well, they can't make it in his team. But the point I try to make, firstly, these kids, they don't always join the academy and go through the under-23s just to play for West Ham. It's just they want to start there and do whatever they want to do at other teams. It just so happens that in the case of Ashby, a really good team's come in for him. But that could have been the same if he'd have gone, I don't know, Birmingham City like the other one. Do you understand what I'm saying? However, what I will say is, if you've had situations where we've had this season where we are clearly missing players like centre backs, you could have you could have shown a bit of balls and put a player in and increased the player's value to sell him if you're going to sell him anyway, because you don't really know how good they're going to be until you throw them into the the first team, this is what everyone said about Jeff Pike.
Mm.
No one rated Jeff Pike as a junior. No one. All his teammates said no one would have, give him a chance. But he was playing in the first team and really raising his game against the big teams that got him a long career at the club with silverware. So it kind of works both ways, really.
Yeah, I get it, but
The
pressure is on.
there's a bit of alchemy there when it comes to bringing
I get that, but
people in.
and then there are a few that do bring them through. But even Chelsea just flog theirs out and
Well,
load
you
them
can't
out.
talk about bring Chelsea into any equation of what we do.
Yeah,
No, we don't. But the thing is with Chelsea, they get the right price for the players when they sell.
Agreed, they do, but then they suck up, 70 players or whatever, and they're at an industrial level.
But
and then loan them out.
my point about it when we were talking about it earlier, more than anything, is not such the fact that because history will tell you, or recent history will tell you, that all these players that we've gone, well, he's a decent prospect, shouldn't let him go, haven't really come to anything, or haven't really pushed.
I don't think they ever will again, to be honest.
Yeah, not yet. Or they still, but and it's not so much that. And we can see Ashby was decent, but I just didn't see the point in Moyes saying, well, we want to try and persuade him. Well, if you're going to persuade him, give him some game time.
Yeah, that's the only way it's going to do it.
Don't just stop him from moving in the summer and then try and persuade him and then let him go in January.
I was told it was a lost cause in the first place, and
then let him go in the summer.
Well, I was told we need him for cover. So at that time, we'd had a Gurr out and we'd had a few other defenders out, and he was told we had this £2 million offer, and on transfer deadline day in the summer, he was told we need you for European club cover. After that, he got injured with a hamstring. Whether it was a true injury or not, who knows? Allegedly, and he wasn't available. Now, I don't know the truth. Did he make himself not available? Did Moyes put him on the naughty step and not play him? But I was told at the time he was going to play in the European games, which he had done previously, but he didn't play again until recently. And there was something dodgy.
How many games do you think he played?
7.
Okay. How many did he come on as a sub?
I don't know that.
No.
Does he start a game? Oh, yeah, that European game he started, didn't he?
He started 4 games. Started 4 games.
The funny thing about it, though, with the formation of Moyes appears like it wants to play a wing back, so I thought he was a good option.
We'll see. Maybe he'll learn his trade under Trippier.
Yeah, no, he's got. No, but the stuff I've heard is that they're bringing him in as an understudy to Trippier.
They are, exactly.
To learn and to be brought in as a replacement in the long term.
My money's on that he won't.
No, he won't see him.
He won't.
Well, he's getting £30,000 a week,
like his history tells you, he probably won't. But he's just
120 grand a month. He can't say no to that, can he? That's a nice little.
And what you're saying, and in 2 years' time, when Newcastle reach a level that they want to play at, it will look like a good option to someone just coming up or something.
Or someone like West Ham.
Yeah, we'll pay 20 million for him.
Just coming back up.
Well, no, I would have hoped they. Well, I don't know whether they would have agreed to it, but some buyback clause.
Mate, in a way. I don't think he would have wanted.
No, he probably didn't want to do it.
What I will say about all this is, it's all right. Even though getting your £2 million for him is actually, on balance sheet wise, is a very good deal. What we'll say is we can't keep buying bench players for £20 to £25 million. We're gonna have to start making these youngsters feel welcome, because if you look at Emerson, he's on 100 odd grand a week and costs us 20 million as an aging player. We're getting no real stuff for him. That's
Is
not
Emerson
sustainable.
on 100 grand a week though?
You said he was, didn't you?
No, not Emerson. I don't think.
Well, he's come from Chelsea, hasn't he?
Well,
he was.
He's pushing
Whatever
for a
he's
start
on.
with me. He's pushing to start anyway.
He's got to be, isn't he? I mean, if he wants to play in the way he does, he's got to start, and you've got to have faith in him. But all these
Yeah.
players that do make this team have probably got a mistake or two in them.
Yeah.
But
Anyway. Anyway, on to other transfer news.
Oh, don't worry about me then.
Oh, go on, Nigel.
No,
go on.
fuck it. Go on,
No.
go for it.
I want to have your view on.
No, I know you want to rush along. Go on,
No,
crack
go
on.
on. Go on. No,
No.
you have your say on. No, just stop being stroppy, right? Don't do a Len, and just.
I'm not stroppy.
Well, you try and fucking.
I get fucking angry,
I
but
tell
I
you,
don't
you
sulk.
ask a question, you spend 5 minutes answering it yourself, and we get the fucking tidbits.
No. We've had. I thought we'd covered you. Just say your piece. Spit it out.
It's because he says so much on Twitter, you don't know if he said anything or not.
Go
We
on.
know what he's
Oh.
going to say.
Nigel, say your piece.
What is it? 1%. The funny thing about it is, if you look at every Premier League team, there's a lot of what I call faux outrage for our fan base every time we sell a youth player, because it don't look good to them. And the problem is, you've self-styled yourself as the Academy of Football.
Yeah,
So
it was self-styled. You're right.
Yeah. So when you're a football club that do that, and people believe that we should be bringing, and we all want, at the end of the day, we all want to see the youngsters given a chance. Rightly or wrongly, I think he hasn't been given a chance. I don't think 7 games, 3 in the League Cup, 3 in Europe, and 1 run out in the Premier League, is actually giving the bloke a chance. It's not at the age that he is. He's 2 years younger than Declan Rice, and played 7 games. Declan Rice is, and I know Declan Rice is a different kettle of fish, is approaching 150. Now, Declan Rice was in the youth team with Reece Oxford, and yet it was Reece Oxford that was put in front of Declan Rice when he was 16. So, quite and Reece, let's face it, did do really well, not just in the Arsenal game, but in some of the other games that he played as well.
Yeah.
So you do get late
Where is
developers.
he now, though? I haven't heard of him
He's
lately.
playing in Germany at Augsburg, but he's
doing
had
well in
injury.
Germany.
Is he doing all right
Yeah.
in Germany?
Yeah, he's playing, he's picked, but obviously he's had his injuries troubles as well. So, but you don't know, he might have had them here or whatever. But in regards Ashby to Newcastle, I think because he went to Newcastle, it has a different slant on it, because it's like, well, if they fancy him, and they're obviously going to be a top 6, 7 club now going forward, and I'd expect them to stay there for quite some time. Normally, we can accept it when kids drop down a level. He's sort of gone up a level. So it could be a bit of pill to follow. But the problem is that he's going to go there and play with Trippier. Trippier's 32, 33. He's just been given another 2-year contract. He can learn under him. But our Newcastle, who probably will be in the Champions League in 2 years' time, you know, they may even win a cup or whatever. Are they going to really turn to Harrison Ashby to replace Trippier? Or are they going to go out and buy some Spanish or Argentinian
of course they will.
or whatever? Yeah, we all know what'll happen.
Yeah.
And Ashby
Which
then...
makes the signing all the more... And they're being really coy. They're saying it's a long-term contract, but the contract length is unknown. Why?
No, but the weird
it's maybe
thing
it's
is,
a
what you've
Chelsea
got to remember
contract.
as well is, I don't know, you know, I can't keep up with. Is there a quota of you got to have British players,
Yes.
or isn't there?
Yeah.
And,
Yes, there is.
and whether there's a bit of that
7.
to their
Yeah,
signing.
that's a good
It-
point I didn't think of.
That I did think that it was a strange one for Newcastle, but they have been caught in him. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is
Eddie
disappointing.
Howe. Eddie Howe and his
Yeah, to
Yeah.
see,
man.
you know,
I
the
think-
one go to Sunderland as well, and you know, I don't know about the one to Colchester. He's been unlucky with injuries, you know, and then you get like that, as I say, that bloke in the Athletic was Shane Thomas writing, "Why are the kids jumping ship?" The under-18s are top of the table. How about this for a theory? A lot of the players we're letting go are 22, 23, they're overage.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
we be
pushing them
clearing the
through.
decks
Yeah, of course
to
we
bring
are.
through the team that's top of its
Yeah.
league? Not that the under-23s, they've started to improve. I'm not knocking them, but funny enough, they've started to improve when we've brought some of the under-18s into their team.
Yeah.
So, and Barmer started off in the under-18s this season. He's now playing under-23, under-20, not
No,
under-20,
you might-
under-21.
You might be right.
So we could be clearing the
Well,
decks.
we've got some good players, haven't we, at that
Yeah.
level?
We could be clearing the decks to bring them through. We don't know. At the end of the day, we don't know what the policy is. But it's mad to think that.
Well, it's the
on
Red Bull
well,
policy, isn't it?
Yeah.
well, yeah.
But-
That's a stupid throwaway comment by Moyes, and it'll hang him.
Yeah.
No, something.
More
But
like
what
the
I'll
s-
finish on
More
is
like the sour milk model.
well, yeah. What I'll finish on realistically is that at the end of the day, while we all complain and everything else, history says there's only one player that's ever left us and gone on to win a league title that we didn't give a chance to. And that's Ray Houghton. All the other youngsters that left us and went on to win a league title, we didn't let go for next to nothing.
Yeah.
You know, we got money from when we sold them because of relegation or because we did give them a chance, we did bring them through and they earned it. So, you know, how many kids have, you know, Dean Garner looks like a bargain now, or look like
God,
an
good deal.
Yeah.
you know, and this is the funny thing is that for all the people screaming on Twitter, what's the point of the academy? Well, add up all the transfer fees and let's see what it costs to run the academy, and you'll see it's probably self-sufficient.
The academy can't be the under 23s. I mean, it's not,
No,
is it?
it's under
It's
21
the under
now.
8. Yeah.
Why did
Yeah,
it change?
but-
I don't really know why it changed from under 23s.
Well, I think they realised it was stupid, you know, and also by having it under 23s, some clubs may then hold them back into the under 23s when. Yeah, I'm not being funny. If you're not playing first team football at 21, I think you need to get out the club.
Yeah, really.
Kind of Coventry.
Yeah, I do. You need to get out the club, get lower down, because if you look at it, look at the Premier League and look at how many Premier League footballers have gone through a Premier League club's academy. Not even their own academy, any Premier League club player, how many of them went through a Premier League academy? Look at the best players in our team. Declan Rice and Johnson, yes. But Antonio, no. Creswell, no. Bowen, no. That's like, I'm talking about obviously English players. They didn't go through Premier League academies. Tranmere, was it Creswell? Was it
Yep.
Tranmere?
Yep.
Yeah, Bowen at Hereford. Antonio,
I think actually
non-league
Creswell might have
football.
started off at Liverpool, didn't he? Don't quote me on
yeah, I
that.
don't know when he went to Tranmere. I don't know if he got released at 16 or whether it was 18. So, but actually, and when they've gone to these clubs, they've gone into the first team and played football. So actually, these kids might be looking and thinking we are better off. And the Academy of Football is there to produce footballers, not necessarily footballers for West Ham.
Yeah,
That's right.
and that's the model that some people look at as well, because you know Brighton's done very well out of it, and a few others. I think Southampton's
Have
done very
they?
well out of it.
Brighton have done
The
things
problem is-
quite differently.
The problem is, all you desperate content creators just bringing these players to the fore.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd never fucking hear from them. You just
Yeah.
let it be.
Yeah.
No,
I
yeah,
say,
I think there's a bit of that.
my ache of it wasn't he's gone, because as you said, historically it's proven to be the right call. It's the fact that
Yeah.
when he said, well, we tried to persuade him to stay, well then give him game time. That's obviously part
Yeah,
of what he
no,
wanted.
I-
Give him game time. If you stopped him in the summer, give him game time, or just
Yeah.
let him go. You know.
That's the contradiction, isn't it? Because if you wanted him to stay, you thought it was good enough. If you thought were good enough, it'd have appeared a damn sight more than 7
Yeah,
times in
absolutely.
2 years.
It just smacks me of just bullshit, really. It's just
Anyway, moving on. Reports for Ben Johnson. Interest in Ben Johnson. I think it was Everton. Reports on Kira going to, I forget, somewhere abroad.
Inter
Interest
Milan.
Inter Milan. Reports on Nottingham Forest, Everton, and Chelsea wanting Antonio. I've been told no inquiries, no bids, no offers. Those three aren't for sale, even if any bids came in. No other bids have come in apart from Harrison Ashby. No
No one
bid
ever
for-
wants our players.
no bids for Rice this winter, which we didn't think there was going to be, or Lanzini or anyone else. So most
Well,
of this
Lanzini's walking away soon, anyway. His
he is.
contract's got built.
Most of it's guff. Look, we could have signed. We signed Danny Ings, which was a surprise. I think we said either off air or that was a surprise in the first place. All along they said we did our money in the summer. So, but everyone got excited and go, "Oh yeah, Antonio might leave." Well, Moyes was really clear; he ain't leaving. My
Content
senior source
creators.
said he ain't leaving, and and then we got excited about this Moffy guy, who I think is signing for Nice again.
I didn't.
My
No, he
understanding
never wanted
is
to come.
we made an inquiry. We never made a bid. We made an inquiry. That's all. And Nice, he's probably always going to Nice.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's what I
It's
said
so
to you
much
today,
nicer
Sean.
in these.
Yeah,
It
true.
is.
Go
That's
on,
what I said to you today.
Their
today,
biscuits
Sean.
are good as well.
go on.
Don't keep repeating everything. When you
Well,
come out and say we're making a
well, we
late
did make an
inquiry.
inquiry for Calvin Phillips. That's the
It's
one
like,
you
oh,
said. Well, we
it's
did
like,
make an.
shut up, innit?
for?
Well,
It's like we made a little.
because
We
David Moyes
tried
likes
FC.
Calvin.
Yeah.
Calvin
We
Phillips.
tried desperately, Sean.
We like.
We're
He
desperately
likes.
trying for anyone right now.
Breaking news:
Go on.
Andre Ayew is in advanced negotiations with Everton.
Yeah, I was going to say not for West Ham. I thought that he was linked to
He's
West
on a
Ham.
free now, isn't he?
Look, what I was told this morning is the only player that might be coming in is a young 17-year-old teenager
The Irish
in
kid.
Northern Ireland, Sean Moore. And he's got to be an academy prospect. There's no way he's going
It's
straight
the
to
Red
first
Bull
team.
program.
So look, do go to bed. There is no transfers. No one's leaving. No one's joining. We have to make do. Look, do I think he should have got cover for Dawes? Yeah, I do think he should. He may live to reject that. Sorry, what's the word? Come on, help me out here.
What?
Regret it. He may live to regret it. That's what I was thinking of. By not signing cover for Dawson, who left for family reasons, because Zuma, although he came back and got injured again, we were saying earlier, I forget who I was talking to. He always looks like he's limping. He always looks
If
like
he
he's
was
injured.
also be put down.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, the transfer news is there is no
Who's a
transfer
cat?
news.
Yeah.
There is no transfer news. Is there anything else we want to do before we go on to?
Well, is our resident David Sullivan going to read out the statement about Jose Mourinho?
Oh yeah, you yeah. I should. I might have to ask Len to do that live because I'm not sure I can download it as a. You did a really good.
Joe, do you want me to say it again?
Yeah,
I'll
go on.
find what you sent me. Hang on.
By the way, could you, Nigel?
Len,
Could you mention a
there you go.
famous?
Oh, thank you very much.
Nigel, could you mention a famous ex-player?
I could.
He wants to do a gong. Wants to do a
does he?
gong test.
Jose Mourinho is not a name that was ever been in our minds, and in any event, we're desperately keen for David Moyes to turn things around, and the signs are looking better.
There you go,
Thank you, David.
Nigel.
That's officially David Moyes, apparently. That's more like it.
Is that better? Is that more dramatic?
That's a better gong.
Yeah.
That's gone worthy of the players of which we speak.
Good.
What you needed was the what was the film Top Rank, wasn't it? Was the Gong Man?
Yeah.
That's what you needed. The Top Rank man to come and bang that gong
Yeah.
at the start of the old black and white films.
He was a swimming champion, wasn't he? Or something?
Was it? Was
or
he?
a weightlifter or something?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So that's the end of, that's the end of part one. What's our next game?
Don't-
Newcastle. away.
Newcastle away.
I knew
Newcastle
what
away.
could possibly go wrong. Actually, come on and score a hat trick against us. Let's go with you, John.
We lose 2-0.
Ooh, Nigel.
I'll go for a draw. 0-0.
Okay, impressive. Len.
A complete bumming, 3-0 loss.
Okay, I'll go for 1-0 win because in Moyes I trust.
Yeah.
I've been
Righto.
Sean. Len has been
Please buy a painting.
excellent. John has been
Please buy a painting. John has
I
been
don't think
here.
I've got it on sale.
John has been here to encourage people to please buy Len's paintings.
there. You go. Nigel has been
Yeah, crack on.
question time in episode 30, which is next. Come on, you irons.
Bobby Moore, more than just a podcast. Bobby Moore, more than just a podcast.